The gayer the army, the scarier. Forever, dude, throughout history. Think of any army throughout history. Imagine them gay.
This is a regular picture of Robert Oppenheim.
The final episode, I think, is a fucking masterpiece.
We need fashionistas of multi.
Is that your boyfriend?
You are by the Brits.
Or actually could deceive kids. You can see that.
Doom scrolling is bad. Until it isn't. If it wasn't for this mesmerizing, life-draining whirlpool of largely disposable content, I would have never known about the existence of one of the most stylistically interesting films that I've ever seen. The movie in question is called Fallen Angels, and it's a story about three societal outcasts trying to find their purpose in life as they deal with feelings of loneliness and alienation in their own respective ways. Protagonist number one is the hitman Wong Chi-Ming, who seems to me that he keeps himself away from his fellow humans because of his involvement in the business of killing people for money. During the course of this feature, we see him in the point of his life when he wishes to leave the criminal underworld behind and do a normal job, which he hopes that it will gradually integrate him into normal society. Protagonist number two is the hitman's agent, who's generally bored with people and wants to have nothing to do with them. But she's really obsessed with the hitman himself, or to be more precise, she's obsessed with her mental image of him, since she's never actually met him. Everything that she thinks she knows about him is from the contents of his trash can, because other than planning out his hits, she also cleans his apartment in his absence, among other things. Protagonist number 3 is a mute but eccentric ex-convict named Ho Chi Mo, whose disability and general nature have made it hard for him to find a job or build and sustain relationships. His solution to his problem is to hijack closed-off shops late at night and run them as he tries to befriend his customers. The movie doesn't really have a grand overarching narrative. It simply follows its protagonists as they try to transcend their current social standing, and in the process, we gradually get to know them through their interactions with the world around them and their innermost monologues. The characterization of the characters is masterfully executed, but where the movie actually excels in is in its audiovisual presentation. Everything from the time and locations that the movie is shot in, the cinematography, the music, and even the way that the characters dress themselves. Everything is oozing with oppressive beauty and style. But most importantly, it all has its purpose. The whole movie is shot in the suffocatingly small and crowded Chinese shops, or in the comparatively tiny and messy living quarters of the main characters. All the while, the darkness of the night and the city lights are waging a war for supremacy over the narrow back streets of Hong Kong that these very settlements are found in. If I didn't know better, I would have guessed that the creative team purposefully chose to use these locations as the base ingredient for building the movie's beautifully oppressive atmosphere. Then on top of that, we have the cinematography, which perfectly conveys how the characters perceive the situations that they find themselves in. The action scenes, for example, are very choppy and smudged, which accentuates their chaotic nature. And as for the introspective scenes, the cinematographer shot the characters up close and personal, while using a wide-angle lens, which makes the environment seem much grander than they actually are. This magnificent space warping ability of the wide-angled lens makes it perfect visually showcase how isolated and distant the main protagonists feel from society. The next ingredient is music, and whether it's the trip-hoppy reggae theme of the Hitman, the two Chinese pop ballads whose lyrics are used for the characters to express themselves, or the movie ending with the classic tunes of Only You by the Flying Pickets, the music in this movie was always used with taste and where most appropriate. Yes, the movie is also very funny, at least when it wants to be. So yeah, I guess I found myself a new movie director whose body of work I will obsess over in the next few months. And as for you dear viewers, whenever you feel in the mood to watch a very normal but slightly weird cinematic feature, you can't go wrong with Fallen Angels. Thank you guys for watching, and if I manage to make another video, I hope I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day!